We're going to be down here. So hello, everyone, and welcome to the Select Board meeting of Monday, July 11th. Please join me in saluting the flag, the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So this is an official Select Board meeting, and just to give you some brief introduction, I want everyone to know that this meeting is being recorded and it will be broadcast on local cable television. It's on Facebook Live. So this is a really big event for us tonight. We're really excited to be here to welcome in our new chief. And I just wanted to say that on behalf of the whole Select Board, we're thrilled to have Deputy Chief Boone become Police Chief Boone. It's been a very exciting week for us, and congratulating Chief Sullivan as he moves on into his next phase. And we really look forward to working with Chief Boone. We've got a lot of comments, so that's it for me. And we're going to have Connor Reed, the town administrator, come up and make his comments.
Thank you, Dottie. And thank you to everyone here for joining us tonight for a special occasion to recognize Chief Boone as the next Chief of Police. Easton is fortunate to have a highly trained, productive, and professional workforce, but as a team, we often struggle to pause and reflect on moments like this, to recognize how far we've come, to take joy in the accomplishment of some of our own who've worked so hard to get to where they are today. And so I thank all of Easton Police, Fire, our elected leadership, family, and friends who are here tonight to celebrate this moment for Chief Boone. I've had the pleasure of working closely with Chief Boone for 7 years now in his capacity as deputy. And in that time, I've come to know what so many of you here tonight already do, which is that he's kind, genuine, he's a compassionate leader who listens to his team and to the community, and somebody who operates with integrity and honesty. I've also come to know how much he loves this town. Born and raised, graduating from the school that we are standing in tonight. He's lived here, made his career here, and he's started his own family here. His actions demonstrate how much he believes in Easton, and all of you here tonight show that Easton believes in him. It's a challenging time to be a police chief. Few professions in local government have changed as rapidly in recent history as policing. Expectations for service, accountability, and responsiveness have grown over time in response to innumerable societal challenges ranging from the opioid epidemic to gun violence, from use of force to community policing. I have full confidence in Chief Boone to meet these challenges and continuing to lead the Easton Police Department forward to meet the needs of the public, not only because of his character, but because of the men and women of the department that he will now lead, and because of who mentored him in these past 7 years. Chief Sullivan was instrumental in the accreditation of the Easton Police Department, one of the first agencies in Massachusetts to do so. He understood the importance of robust policy and training, of professionalism, and of succession planning. Chief Sullivan saw the future in the department and promoted then Sergeant Boone to deputy shortly after he took his own oath as chief, and worked hand in hand with him over the next 7 years, sharing the insights, the accomplishments, and the struggles and challenges that a chief must face each and every day of office. Together, they maintained the department's accreditation. They trained and equipped the department with life-saving Narcan. They transitioned from local 911 to regional SEMREC dispatch, and they partnered with community health coalitions and human rights groups. It's because of that incredible relationship shared by Chief Sullivan and Chief Boone that the department and all of Easton is prepared today for this wonderful occasion, and I'm happy to be able to introduce Chief Sullivan to say a few words about Chief Boone. Chief.
Good evening, everyone. I am honored to be here this evening to watch our new police chief, James K. Boone, take the oath of office. But before we do, I'd like to say a few words about him. Keith and I worked closely together for the last 7 years in our previous roles as chief and deputy chief. Spent countless hours talking together in person, on the telephone, about work and family. I learned many things about him personally and professionally, including some of the qualities and traits I believe make him a good leader. Integrity, trustworthy, positive, hardworking, loyal to the organization, intelligent, and an effective communicator. I'd like to share a quote with all of you that former President Ronald Reagan once said about leadership. I first saw these words lined along the hallway of my children's school when they were younger. Quote, "The greatest leader is not necessarily the one who does the greatest things. He or she is the one that gets people to do the greatest things." End quote. I believe these are words to live by for any person in a leadership position. I further believe our new chief, Keith Boone, will one day be recognized by his peers as that type of leader. Chief Boone, it was a pleasure working with you for the last 7 years, and I wish you the absolute very best as you become the next leader of the Easton Police Department. So congratulations. If I may, I'd like to invite Keith's family up to the stage for the oath of office and the badge pinning.
Raise your right hand. Repeat after me. I state your full name.
I, Keith Boone,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will bear
that I will bear
true faith and allegiance
true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States of America
to the Constitution of the United States of America
and to the laws of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts,
and to the laws of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts,
and that I will fairly
and that I will fairly
and equitably
and equitably
execute the laws thereof
execute the laws thereof
within the extent
within the extent
of my authority
of my authority
and jurisdiction.
and jurisdiction.
I state your full name.
I, Keith Boone,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
and affirm
and affirm
that I will faithfully
that I will faithfully,
and impartially
impartially
discharge and perform
discharge and perform
all the duties
all the duties
incumbent upon me
incumbent upon me
as the police chief
as the police chief
for the town of Easton,
of the town of Easton,
and to do so
and to do so
to the best of my abilities
to the best of my abilities
and understanding,
and understanding,
in accordance
in accordance
with the bylaws
with the bylaws
of the town of Easton.
of the town of Easton.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Chief.
Wow, thank you. I'd like to begin by thanking our state delegation that's here tonight. I'm well aware of how busy your schedules are, especially of late. It seems like you've been living in Easton. I'm sorry, you're right here. and I'm honored that you'll be here for my swearing in. I'd also like to officially and publicly recognize and congratulate now retired Chief Sullivan for his 27 years of dedicated service to the town of Easton, and thank him for everything he's done for me personally and professionally. I'd like to thank our town administrator, Connor Reed, for selecting me to be the town's new police chief. In my role as deputy chief, we've gotten to work very close together over the past several years, and I look forward to continuing that relationship and accomplishing great things together. I'd like to thank our select board, Chair Dottie Fulgenetti, Vice Chair Craig Barger, members Mark Lamb, Jennifer Stacy, and Jamie Stebbins for their support of my selection. I'd like to thank my family that's here tonight. Without your support and continued support, I would not be receiving this promotion. All the town departments and department heads that are represented here, and our neighboring police officers and firefighters from other agencies, I'm honored and humbled that you would come out here tonight. And lastly, the Easton police officers, thank you for coming out and representing tonight. 27 years ago, I graduated from this high school with the hope of not becoming a police officer, but becoming an Easton police officer. Having been raised and educated in this town, I considered myself very lucky. There is and always has been a strong sense of community in the town of Easton, which makes it so great. And having grown up here, in my younger years, I would have interactions with some of the Easton police officers. They were all positive and meaningful. And it was through those relationships that when I entered my high school years, in this very building, I realized I wanted to be a police officer here for the town. 25 years ago, it was very difficult to become a police officer in Massachusetts, let alone in Easton. It was fiercely competitive. And typically, there were 10 times as many applicants as there were for positions. However, by some stroke of luck, I was fortunate enough to be given an opportunity by now retired Police Chief Stanley Bates when he hired me as a special police officer. And since that time and throughout my career, I've worked with great people. Many of you are here tonight. Some have long since retired and moved away. And sadly, some have passed on. But one constant remains. All of them and all of you helped carve the path that led me to where I am today. And I'm grateful for that. To our community, I promise to continue devoting all of my efforts and all of my energy into maintaining a police department that strives for excellence every day, because that's what we do. To our officers, there are two very important responsibilities that I believe a police chief has. The first, identify, train, and prepare the future leaders in this police department so you're ready to take forward when the time comes. I promise to do that for you, as it was done for me. Second, take care of the people that take care of the people. Take care of the people that take care of the people. That's what you do every day. You go out every day and take care of the people in this town. You respond to the calls for service. You respond to frantic 911 emergency calls. Every day you go out and try to solve other people's problems. And oftentimes we have to see things that no one should ever have to see. Because of that, I promise to you I will do everything in my power to ensure you have everything you need to continue being successful in our mission. I'm excited, and I'm looking forward to a long and successful run as your chief, and I thank you for being here tonight.
Thank you, Chief Boone. One of the many things that makes Easton a strong and successful community is that we have great partnerships across all levels of government, and we are pleased tonight to have representatives of our state delegation here who have some citations to present to our newly minted Chief of Police. So I would like to welcome up Senator Walter Timilty and Representative Carol Doherty to do the honors, please.
Walter? We could do that all day. You go. No, you go. It's such a pleasure to be here, especially on this occasion. We joined Chief Sullivan on Friday or Thursday afternoon at that bittersweet time to say goodbye to him as your chief, and to continue to introduce myself at any rate, and to hear the good words about the incoming Chief Boone. And so I'm so delighted to be here on this celebratory occasion to say thank you very much for your service. He is coming to you, as you well know, and has been said, under the fine tutelage of the outgoing Chief Sullivan. And what better kind of training would you want for your chief than to work under the Chief Sullivan, whom we so much admire. So I have a citation from the State House, which I will read. So it reads, "The Commonwealth of Massachusetts, the House of Representatives, do hereby be it known to all that the Massachusetts House of Representatives offers its sincerest congratulations to Keith Boone in recognition of your promotion to Chief of Police for the town of Easton. The entire membership extends the very best wishes and expresses the hope for future good fortune and continued success in all your endeavors. Given on the 11th day of July at the State House, Boston, Massachusetts, or rather here at Oliver Ames High School in Easton, Massachusetts. Signed by the Speaker of the House, Ron Mariano, and myself, Carol Doherty, as State Representative in the 3rd Bristol District." And I just want to add the fine note that I was very moved to see that it is Keith Boone's wife who pinned him with the official pin of the Chief of the town of Easton. It speaks to me to community and to the support of the family, his wife and his little baby, in this endeavor that he is undertaking. So it is just a wonderful moment in that regard. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rep. Doherty, Chief Boone, Chief Sullivan, Chair Fulgenetti, and our distinguished Select Board. It's an honor to be here tonight to, of course, honor newly appointed and sworn-in Police Chief Keith Boone, or I should say J. Keith Boone. And, of course, Charlene, because we all know that police work and public safety, whether it be police or fire, is a shared sacrifice. So to you, Charlene, thank you very much for all that you do. And with this, as Rep. Doherty mentioned, it is fitting that your training was at the side of Chief Sullivan. Chief, congratulations to you, your excellent tutelage. The Easton Police Department, I happen to be the Chair of Public Safety and Homeland Security, so I have the opportunity and the privilege of working with police departments and fire departments from all around the Commonwealth. Easton Police Department enjoys a great reputation. So to each officer here, I congratulate you for that. To each retiree who's here tonight, we congratulate you. And Chief, the people of this town deserve the very best, and they're getting the very best with your police department. So congratulations. I offered this citation in the State Senate this week, Chief, if you could step forward. It states as follows: Commonwealth of Massachusetts, Chief, official citation. Be it known that the Massachusetts State Senate hereby extends its congratulations to Chief Keith Boone in recognition of your installation as Chief of the Easton Police Department and your dedicated service, mirroring that of your officers, to the community of Easton. And be it further known that the Massachusetts State Senate extends its best wishes for continued success, that this citation be duly signed by the President of the State Senate and attested to, and a copy thereof transmitted by the clerk. It's been signed by our Senate President Karen E. Spilka, attested to by a clerk Michael Hurley, and offered by myself, one very proud State Senator, Walter F. Timilty. Congratulations, Chief. Best wishes
Thank you.
for a long tenure as our Chief. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
So thank you, everyone, for being here tonight. This is exciting for us as a select board. This is part of our select board meeting, and I wish they all started with something as joyous as this. So in my enthusiasm to get going, I'm sorry I neglected to introduce my fellow select board members, Vice Chair Craig Barger, Mark Lamb, Jen Stacy, and I'm Dottie Fulgenetti. So with that, we're going to take a 10-minute recess, and we're going to ask the Easton Police Department to come up and do a group photo up here, and then we're going to have the town staff join in the photo, and then a family and friends photo, and then we're going to ask everyone to go up to the atrium where there's some refreshments, and everybody can interact with each other, and we're going to resume the select board meeting here at that time. So we'll take a 10-minute recess now, Joe, and we'll let you know when we're ready to start again. Thank you, everyone.